How's it going, guys? Today I wanted to talk about my top 10 favorite PvP Nat 3s and why they're my favorite. And this isn't as much of a cookie cutter, these are the best Nat 5s, or Nat 3s, sorry, in every scenario, but that they will be extremely good if you build them. You will never stop using them. They will always have use. There are some counterparts there's a counterpart to one of them that I'd prefer to use to the actual Nat 3, but other than that, I mean, I would use all of these no matter what Nat 5s I had. And there are also in Territory Wars bases with a limited number of stars you can use, so they are extremely good there as well. And these are extremely viable units to use against Nat 5s, like they're extremely strong units. And I wanted to talk about them because it's also fantastic to be able to have free-to-play options in a very pay-to-win kind of setting like PvP in these gacha games. And I wanted to make sure you guys knew about all of these if you haven't seen them already. But yeah, these are my favorite, more offensive Nat 3s, but a few of these can be very defensive, like this guy, this guy, this guy. These three are really, really good defensive Nat 3s. Even this guy, if you're trying to do like some defense team or whatever. But I didn't know this guy had gear on him. Some extra. Anyway, let's get into it. And this is not going to be in some particular order. It's just going to be because if it were in a particular order, it would mean that these Nat 3s are, certain ones are better than others, and all of these are really good at their roles, what they do. Very, very excellent units in general. None are better than the others. They're just very different. That being said, Dark Pumpkin and Tree Popo Rider, like if you have Dark Pumpkin, you'll probably end up using it, but you actually get more ATB from the Tree Popo, and you get the speed buff versus the, what is it, effect up? Yeah, on this guy. And you get a lot more attack bar, 18% versus 30, so you get twice as much. So, you know, it depends on your speed tuning and stuff. But Bouncing Joker, one of my all-time MVP units, period, in this game. It totally got me top 10 in Arena, like totally got me all through this entire meta, which is Light Bear. And I shouldn't, this is second video in a row I've mentioned Light Bear, but I mean, that unit's ridiculous, and this thing very much helps you counter it. There are certain ways people can build Light Bear to counter the Dark Joker, and honestly, I'm really not going to talk about the counters to Dark Joker because you just got to be creative and figure it out. Light Bear user, freaking frick. Anyway, yeah, Dark Joker, amazing, amazing, amazing unit. Absolutely, like top 10 favorite units in the game, period. Love it. Absolutely couldn't live without it. And even people were complaining about it and saying it was useless after it doesn't work in Vegas for the passive when it's petrified. This thing has so much utility outside of that against so many things, not just Light Bear. It's so fantastic against cleaves and really high damage comps to just like one shot. Or if you're going for an actual offense and you want a one-shot comp, I use him with my ant cannon and just one-shot things, just right out of the gate without an attack buff. So absolutely awesome. Love the unit. Skill 1 being ignore defense and actually high damage is insane. Dark Pumpkin Freak, I feel like most people probably know how good this unit is. It is just the fastest attack bar booster in the game, I believe. And that's kind of it. I mean, it does healing too, and the shield and defense break skill 1. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with it. Just build him extremely fast. And build this guy, you don't need tanky stats on him, just high damage. basically high damage. I have him speed tuned to be with my ant cannon, like 1-ish speed apart, so that they can do this 1-2 combo. But really, you don't need that much speed on him if you can't get it. Turtle tank, amazing unit. I was using this thing as my attack bar booster for a long time with my tree bookworm that was low crit rate, so it could max the crit rate out, and it was also extremely slow. I could build a turtle tank very fast and not have to worry too much about speed tuning because it's a 50% ATB boost. That is amazing. It's crazy. And it's got the skill 2 defense break and the skill 1 stun, which is awesome. Amazing unit. Now I have it souped up on full Inspire because it's my secondary booster. So basically I have my main super fast booster and then him that gets boosted up from that, and then he boosts the ATBs of the big nukers that can't be tuned to the super fast one. So he's like a kind of a middle stepping stone since his speed isn't that great. This is a full stacked turtle tank versus a no stacked pumpkin freak, and there's a 16 speed difference, so it's pretty rough to use this guy as your main attack bar booster. I was outspeeding people in with my fastest set, but you know, it's you gotta have good gear for that. So but next is Tree Giant, and I was using him. He boosts attack bar and buffs your defense and attack power. I was using him with the turtle tank as a little duo, so I get attack bar boost by 70%, because this guy's 20, right? Yeah, 70% attack bar boost, crit rate up, attack buff, and defense up. Defense up wasn't really for what I was using him for, was not relevant, but just perfect cleave attack bar booster. If you have the water lady, she can kind of take his spot. I think I directly like moved his gear to her, but yeah, and I use her for a secondary attack bar booster because her speed is so bad. But and I mean, if you can't stack her, then and you're using him as a main attack bar booster, they're very close. So, which is ridiculous. She's a Nat 5, but anyway. Next is Light Urololon. Absolutely crazy CC unit. Nat 3 that does absolutely like nuts. Even after the nerf, it's really good. You have to build it, especially for like tunnel. If you're using it in tunnel, like it got me through tunnel hard. Like very good unit. Especially for me because I don't have a lot of really good tunnel units like Water Sorcerer, Water Man at Arms, and a couple other things like a Water Specialist. So Light Urololon totally carried me through tunnel. Definitely recommend. Like absolutely crazy. You don't need to 6-star it. You don't need to 6-star this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and then the PvP, the more like PvP non-support, non-attack bar booster cleaver things. You generally do want to get those stats on, if that makes sense. But yeah, Popo Rider I feel like needs no introduction. Just very classic attack bar booster. Can't really go wrong with it. It's really good, great starting one. And also Tree Rat speed lead makes her faster, so if you're doing like a budget cleave thing, then she's great. Yeah, I'd run her. And Water Popo Rider is really a really good water tank. She reflects damage according to her HP and gives them a damage over turn, which is so good, especially in guild content when you're doing you're fighting too many wind threats or tree threats. Then she'll just soak up that damage and just like kill things off. Like she's very good. She's a fantastic unit. I'd wait to build her until later when you have your other units built for, you know, PvE and stuff, but that's with every PvP thing really. But she's very fantastic for guild content. And so is Dome Fighter. The ignore defense, according to its defense, is really good, like super good. I think a guildie of mine was using it to kill light bears, so I might try it. We'll see. But super good unit. It's really hard to find good ignore defense on Nat 3s, but this this thing it hits so hard. It's really good, and it's very good for guild content. So if you're into guild stuff and getting that done like I am, I love the PvP side, and guild content is really fun. And I have an awesome guild, so it makes it more fun. Then I would definitely build this thing. I'm going to very soon. I have all the food and everything to get everything 6-starred. I've just been farming so much, like boxing club and stuff. I haven't really been, and honestly, I have a pretty big box. So I have a lot of kind of premium units that I use. That's not to say that I would use them instead of these units, but that it's not my priority right now to build more. But I will be building like all of these, except for the attack bar boosters. You don't need to 6-star. The stats aren't important, but like these units, huge, absolutely amazing PvP units, especially later game when you're getting into guild content, guild battles and stuff like that. Super awesome units. And then Fire Hog Chef. Awesome mon. Absolutely awesome mon. It's got this passive cleanse, healing. It's got the leader skill for defense, which is sick for a Nat 3. That's amazing. At the start of your turn, remove 2 debuffs and recover HP by 10% of the ally with the lowest HP. It's good healing, and it's cleansing, and it's passive. Super good. And then the skill 2 is only a 2-turn cooldown for an attack up and effect up, so accuracy and attack up. Super good. Like, this is such a good unit, and it's got turn cycling on skill 1. Crazy unit. And it doesn't have bad base stats too when it's 6-starred. Like, it's absolutely a fantastic support unit, especially if you don't have Fire Warners. Then she's going to be really good. I can't wait to build her and use her. And then I want to also talk about Light Turtle Tank, which I see everywhere. Very good unit, very strong passive defensively. Increase the max HP of all allies by 10% of your max HP. Decreases the incoming damage of all allies except you by 15%. Sorry, excuse me. This effect won't stack. Oh my gosh, I'm just as bad as them. Oh. I speak English, guys, I promise. This effect won't stacks with other similar effects. So really good damage midi, and it's 10% of this thing's max HP. So if you build this thing with plus 30k, 10%, so 40k, that is 4k extra HP on everything, plus the 15% damage mitigation. That's really good. That's very solid for a passive, for a unit, a Nat 3 that just sits there. And also the skill 2 does like a lot of damage. I was fighting one in Guild Wars, in Territory, sorry, and it just like freaking beamed me with its skill 2. I do not know how that thing was built, but I was like, oh my god, it just like almost one-shotted me, and the thing was insanely tanky. I was actually blown away. But anyway, that was the idea of this video. I just want to make sure all of you are aware that there are some really good Nat 3s in this game that are extremely viable in PvP, and you don't need all these fancy Nat 5s. Like, I'm missing so many really good Nat 5s. I have a lot of great Nat 5s, but like, I definitely have holes in my box, and you can really fill those holes out with Nat 3s, and actually do very well in PvP. So yeah, I feel like this is actually a very important subject for people to actually cover, because a lot of times when you're playing a gacha and you're trying to get into PvP, it's so overwhelming, and you just look at all these people with all these crazy units, and you're like, how do I even compete, you know? And having the knowledge that there are very good PvP Nat 3s that you can really do well with, really kind of helps with that like overwhelming feeling, for me at least, because I just see these teams with like several LD Nat 5s and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so lame. But there are counters to them, and there are a lot of Nat 3s that are very good at countering those units. So I just want you to keep that in mind and not get discouraged, and really have fun, and realize that there are counters to these units, and if you strategize, you can overcome like a lot of very hard defenses and crazy monsters, because there's a lot of crazy units in this game, and you can deal with them with Nat 3s. And I'll probably make a video on doing territory wars with like Nat 3s only or something, and really try and take that to the next level. So we'll see what happens there, but I gotta build a few more units and stuff, a few more Nat 3s. I haven't been really prioritizing food, but yeah, I have almost like two 6 stars. I do. I have 2 6 stars I can make, so I'll need a little bit more food for that. But anyway, that's the idea for this video. I just want to make sure you guys know that there are options out there, some really fantastic units, and I wish you luck pulling Tree Ninrat, guys, because holy cow, there are a lot of people that don't have it, and it sucks. I feel for you guys. That is awful. I am sending my Tree Ninrat luck to you, dear viewer. So yeah, have a good time out there playing this game. So many cool viable units to use. Anyway, I'll get out of your hair. See you next time. Thank you for watching.